You've seen the usual Isekai, the overpowered hero, the summoned savior, the cheat code magician. But what about the ones no one's talking about? The hidden gems, the underdogs, the shows that didn't blow up, but absolutely should have? The Faraway Paladin. At first glance, it doesn't feel like your usual Isekai. There's no school bus crash, no goddess summoning ceremony, just a boy, alone, in the ruins of a forgotten city. His name is Will, and he's being raised by the undead. Will's new parents are no ordinary corpses. There's Blood, the warrior skeleton, Mary, the ghost priestess, and Gus, a grumpy spectral mage. They aren't evil. They're guardians of a forgotten holy place, protecting Will from the horrors of the outside world until he's ready. As he grows, Will learns magic, combat, and faith. But most of all, he's taught responsibility. He isn't just training to fight monsters. He's learning what it means to live with purpose. When he finally steps outside into the wider world, he isn't just strong, he's unstoppable, backed by divine blessings, holy oaths, and the wisdom of 3 ancient warriors, 9 good night world. Imagine a dysfunctional family, distant, cold, fractured in real life. But in a VR game, they unknowingly become the most powerful team online. Welcome to Good Night World. In a game called Planet, a family of 4, father, mother, and 2 sons, unknowingly reunite under aliases as the strongest guild, the Akabane family. The twist? None of them know they're related in real life. The youngest son, Ichi, is a prodigy. His skills in the game are so advanced, he becomes nearly untouchable. But the game starts bleeding into reality. Emotional trauma, real-world corruption, and AI singularity collide as the fantasy turns into a digital nightmare. What begins as a feel-good family isekai becomes a dark exploration of memory, identity, and what it means to escape into power when your real life is falling apart. 8. Helk. This one flips the script. Helk isn't a hero summoned to defeat the Demon Lord. He's a hero who wants to become the next Demon King. In a post-Demon King world, Helk enters a tournament to become the new ruler of the Demon Realm. But there's a problem. He's a human, and he's absurdly powerful. Like, one-shot a castle powerful. The demons hate him, the generals distrust him, but Helk keeps smiling through it all. There's something deeper behind that goofy grin. And as the story unfolds, you realize this isn't a comedy. It's a tragedy in disguise. Helk is a mystery wrapped in muscle. Why does a hero hate humans? Why is he fighting for demons? And what happens when a man with that much power no longer sees the point in saving anyone? 7 Infinite Dendrogram. Set in the future, this is a VR MMO that goes way beyond the usual fantasy game. Infinite Dendrogram offers players a world where NPCs act like real people, and choices have real consequences. Reiji, the MC, starts off like your average player, but his weapon, an embryo, evolves based on his decisions. Eventually, he unlocks abilities that rival gods, all while getting involved in real political wars within the game world. This isn't just a game, it's a living, breathing world with rules, morality, death, and irreversible consequences. And Reiji, through tactics and bond building, becomes its rising power. It's an underappreciated show with high-stakes storytelling, creative combat, and massive world-building potential. 6 Remonster. He was once human. Then, he died. Now, he's a goblin. But unlike most reincarnated nobodies, he keeps all his memories and a terrifying ability. Whatever he eats, he gains its powers, and he's always hungry. Remonster doesn't hold back. The MC, named Gobru, evolves faster than anyone around him, climbing the monster food chain with brutal efficiency. Magic, swordplay, regeneration, psychic powers. If it can be consumed, he'll take it. It's dark, primal, and sometimes violent. But Gobru's progression is addictively satisfying. By the time he leads armies, you'll be wondering how this beast was ever human. 5 Ishura. The Demon King is dead, and now the world is ruled by monsters disguised as mortals, demigods who once fought beneath him or against him, each one capable of ending cities, each one chasing power. There's no weak character in Ashura. Every named fighter is an S-rank powerhouse, including the silent swordsman, the time-bending assassin, and the flame-tongued poet who burns nations with words. This isn't a story about a hero's rise. It's a war between those already at the top. The battles feel mythic, and the world feels like it's on the edge of divine collapse. If you love god-tier matchups and poetic high fantasy themes, this anime delivers. For Kimono Michi. Rise up, a wrestler gets isekai'd and summoned to slay monsters. His response? German suplex the princess. Why? Because he loves animals, and all he wants is to open a pet shop. Genzo, the MC, is freakishly strong and casually wrecks monsters. Not to kill, but to tame. The guy body slams dragons into submission and befriends werewolves for fun. Kimono Michi is chaotic, hilarious, and filled with absurd strength, used for wholesome goals. If OP but weirdly specific characters are your jam, this is a must-watch. 3. So I'm a spider, so what? She was a regular high school girl. Then, boom, reincarnated as a spider in the world's deadliest dungeon. No friends, no weapons, just pure survival. But what makes this anime insane is her evolution system. She devours stronger monsters, levels up endlessly, and gains insane abilities like space-time magic and reality warping. Eventually, she breaks the system and the fourth wall. Her monologues are wild, the fights are clever, and the growth is addictively OP. It's 2 stories in one, the dungeon survival and the outside world politics. But trust me, the spider steals the show. 2 handyman Saitu in another world. This guy wasn't special in the real world, just a decent handyman. But in a medieval fantasy dungeon full of death traps and ancient magic, he's the MVP. Saitu doesn't cast spells or wield swords. He picks locks, repairs gear, and carries the team. Quietly, he becomes the glue holding a legendary party together. Eventually, even kings and mages recognize him as irreplaceable. It's an isekai about value, about usefulness. And Saitu proves that being OP isn't always about raw power. Sometimes it's about doing what others can't. 1. Ascendance of a bookworm. A frail girl dies in our world and wakes up in a medieval town, where books don't exist for commoners. So what does she do? She decides to rebuild the entire printing industry from scratch. Mine is weak, sickly, and powerless in battle. But mentally, she's a weapon. Using memory from her past life, she reinvents ink, paper, and publishing, shaking the entire feudal system while rising through the social ranks. It's isekai with 0 combat, but maximum brain power. Mine doesn't fight with magic. She changes the world with knowledge. You don't need to be the chosen one to be powerful. In these anime, power comes from pain, from purpose, or just from being weirdly good at something. That's what makes these isekai different and underrated.